everyone, this is Osfour and welcome on this new episode of my masterclass podcast on healing wounds with the Osfour Self Coaching Model, aka the Swiss knife model. In today's video, we are going to talk about active listening, which is one of the 5 postures that you need in order to use the Osfour Self Coaching Model. And also keep in mind that by the end of this video, I will ask you a magic question, and if you can send me the correct answer, you will win a free coaching session with me using the Osfour Self Coaching Model. You ready? Everyone, and welcome back on this new episode of my masterclass podcast on healing wounds. My name is Osfour and I'm a life coach, a mentor, a master practitioner in NLP, and the creator of the Osfour Self Coaching Model. In today's video, we are going to talk about one of the 5 postures that you need in order to use this model, which is active listening. But before we start, I just want to remind you a couple of things. First of all, this podcast is just part of many things that I do that are all related to how to use the Osfour Self Coaching Model. This is a model that I have created to help you to develop your self-awareness and your communication skills. So every month, I send one video on my YouTube channel. You can find the link below. I do also every Wednesday a podcast, one episode of this podcast. And all of those things are designed to help you learn how to use this model. And finally, I think this is really important. You have a free worksheet, and you can find the link below this video that can help you learn how to use this model. Obviously, in these videos and in this podcast, I'm only teaching you the basic of the model, but even with the basic of the model, I can tell you it's pretty powerful. If you want to learn the whole thing, you can always find on my website a whole package and an offer of how you can work with me, and or if you want, you can send me an email. That was a bit long. What a shame. And I had to repeat it and 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 repeat it until I was settled. I was in peace with it. Once, and that's not new. Quelqu'un qui n'a jamais obtenu un résultat va avoir beaucoup de difficultés à l'obtenir. Donc il va devoir le visualiser. Et il va devoir le visualiser très sérieusement dans tous les détails. Hello everyone, and welcome back on this new episode of my podcast on healing wounds with the Osfour. Hello everyone and welcome back. Hello everyone and welcome back on this new episode of my masterclass podcast on healing wounds. My name is Osfour and I'm a life coach, a mentor, a master practitioner in NLP, and the creator of the Osfour Self Coaching Model. Hello everyone and welcome back. Hello everyone. This is Sophia. Hello everyone and welcome back on this new episode of my masterclass podcast on healing wounds with the Osfour Self Coaching Model. My name is Osfour and I'm a life coach, a mentor, a master practitioner in NLP, and the creator of the Osfour Self Coaching Model. Hello everyone and welcome back on this new episode of my masterclass podcast on healing wounds. My name is Osfour and I'm a mentor, a life coach, a master practitioner in NLP, and the creator of the Osfour Self Coaching Model. And in today's video, we are going to talk about one of the 5 postures that you need in order to use this model that I've created. And it's active listening. But before we start, I just want to say a couple of things. This podcast is just part of an entire structure that I've created, where each month I send you a video on my YouTube channel. This has to be clear, because this is always getting so confusing and it's pissing me off now. Hello everyone, this is Osfour and welcome back on this new episode of my masterclass podcast on healing wounds with the Osfour Self Coaching Model. In today's video, Hello everyone, this is Osfour and welcome back on this new episode of my masterclass podcast on healing wounds with the Osfour Self Coaching Model. My name is Osfour and I'm a life. Hello everyone and welcome back on this new episode of my masterclass podcast on healing wounds with the Osfour Self Coaching Model. My name is Osfour and I'm a life coach, a mentor, a master practitioner. Hello everyone, this is Osfour and welcome back on this new episode of my masterclass podcast on healing wounds. My name is Osfour and I'm a master. Hello everyone, this is Osfour and welcome back on this new episode of my masterclass podcast on healing wounds with the Osfour Self Coaching Model. My name is Osfour and I'm a Hello everyone, this is Osfour and welcome back on this new episode of my masterclass podcast. Hello everyone and welcome back on this new episode of my masterclass podcast on healing wounds with the Osfour Self Coaching Model. My name is Osfour and I'm a life coach, a mentor, a master practitioner in NLP and the creator of the Osfour Self Coaching Model. Are you done, you motherfuckers? Hello everyone, this is Osfour and welcome back. So active listening is really the act of being there, without, and that is a skill, I'm not gonna lie to you, that is really, really, really challenging. Because we're not used to it. It's not that you can't do it in principle, but you're not used to it, I have to say, and so once again, the model provides you with such a standards, that you know exactly what you have to aim for. That's what's so great about it, because that's what a model does, it creates a standards. This is where you have to be, and active listening. So straight away when you're not, straight away, you know when you're not listening people. And that's something, it doesn't mean that you're going to reach necessarily this level, because if you have never been practicing it, it's not even for people who wants to practice every day. I'm trying to listen without judging, without analyzing, without listening. Wow! But, straight away when you're out, I remember, and she was having a tough time. And the urge that I felt to give her advice was incredible. If you can't keep your advice for you, you're on the right track. Hello everyone, this is Osfour. Hello everyone and welcome back on this new episode of my masterclass podcast on healing wounds with the Osfour Self Coaching Model. In today's video, hello everyone and welcome back on this new episode of my masterclass podcast on healing wounds with the Osfour Self Coaching Model. My name is Osfour and I'm a life coach, a mentor, a master practitioner in NLP and the creator of the Osfour Self Coaching Model. And in today's video, we are going to talk about one of the 5 postures that you need in order to use the Osfour Self Coaching Model, which is active listening. But before we start, I just want to remind you of a couple of things. First of all, remember that there's a link below this video where you can find a free worksheet of the Osfour Self Coaching Model, and that you can use to learn how to use this model, because this podcast, as you should know by now, is just part of a bigger picture where there are videos that I post every month on YouTube to explain to you or to teach you how to use the Osfour Self Coaching Model. This podcast is also another way for me to explain you into more details, because there's so many things about this model that I can't put in one video. And the video that I've been posting quite long already. I'm trying to create like a new model that is much shorter and much more efficient to help you teach you how to use this model. Obviously also, what I'm teaching in this podcast and in this masterclass is the basic of the model. It's not even the whole model, but even so, it's already very powerful. But if you are interested to learn the entire model and work with me, you can always find the link below of my website, or write me an email. There's also a link of that. And also finally, every Sunday, I animate webinars about how to use this model. So if you're interested, you're more than welcome to participate. Okay, so let's start now and let's talk about the subject of today, which is active listening. So what is active listening? Active listening is the ability, or the skills I should say, to be able to listen to someone. I'm already laughing. To listen to someone and completely silence yourself, which means to be completely 100% present in what this person is saying, without having your own thoughts, your own analyze, your own judgment, your own opinion, your own advice, nothing that's got to do with you, but to be there and present. And that's something we lack, it's not something, we used to, because who has ever listened to you that way? Nobody, this is a skill that when you start to work on that, and if you are able to grow and develop that skill, that would make you an incredible amazing parent, friend, husband, wife, partner, brother, sister, an extraordinary human being. Everybody would want to talk to you, I guarantee you, because it's so rare. It's so rare to be able to talk to someone and have that person be completely present without their judgment, without the opinion, without the advice, but just be there and be completely in the moment with you and following you. And when you want to use this model, once again, this is something that you really need to learn to do, because the reason that when someone is talking, you listen, you hear your own opinion, your own voice, it's your filters that are working, that's what's really working, it's that, maybe you should do this and should have that. Or sometimes the person is not even finished to talk, that you already created an opinion, you've already formed an opinion of why is it they cannot do better. Those are only your filters, those are only your opinion. And so once again, what the model says is, okay, you are operating at that level. We're asking you to operate at that level. And I've said that many times, but that's so true. And that's what's so amazing about a model, is that it creates a standards. And now you already know straight away that when you're not in that standard, you are, in a way, you have to re-guide yourself to the right path. And so, as I was saying, the reason it's important to have active listening, and it might seem to be strange to have active listening when you create a model to use on yourself, right? But it's very important, because active listening will allow you to tell the difference between some sort of programming that you have and habits that you have, and the stuff that is real in you. Because you see, we as a human being have, obviously formed our personality based a lot on other people, from a very young age, from all the influence. Some of those influences were amazing, but we have to also say that some of them are not so amazing. And so sometimes, as a kid, you internalize concept about you or ideas that are not necessarily true, right? And so to be able to have active listening is important, because it's in a way the ability to silence all those filters and to be able to really listen to your own inner voice, the own truth about you. And that is very important, because sometimes in certain situations those two can be so confusing, can be so close that you may think, I'm to give you an example, I think it's the best way to say it, I always heard my mom, for instance, say to me, not often, but like once in a while, she say, no, I couldn't do that because I'm lazy, And I remember, last summer I was with my mom, I was talking, and at some point, I don't know, we had this, oh no, I'm lazy. And it was the first time in my life that I actually challenged that, and I said to my mom, but if you don't mind me asking you, why you say you're lazy? Because I have to say, my mom is a lot of things, but she's not lazy, And she was like, oh, when I was a kid, I was told that I was lazy. And I was in shock, because then I realized she carried that concept about her, or that image of someone lazy, which is not a very nice image even, And for me, as her own daughter, I was like, well, I got to disagree with you, you're not lazy, And it was really funny, because this to me was a typical situation where, if she could really have active listening, she will be able to differentiate between what other people have said about her and what's her own truth, right? And when you want to self-coach yourself, as this model, is about, you got to be able to separate yourself from those two things. There are things that you have been told about yourself. There are things that you have been taught about yourself. There's even things that you have learned to do in order to adapt the demand of people. And sure enough, you do it. But it's not because you do it that this is who you are, right? There's a huge gap between those things, and sometimes to differentiate those things, it's very difficult. But to be able to have active listening is going to help you do that, because active listening is about silencing all those voices in our head that tells us this and this and that, and just be present. Of course, active listening towards you isn't going to be much harder than it is to practice on other people. So at the beginning, if you can just be, for instance, I don't know, if you have a friend and they come to you with a problem, this is when you can start to practice your active listening, or with a colleague, or with your partner, your kid, or anyone, and they come with a problem, they want to talk to you. Active listening would mean that you listen to them, you don't give any advice unless they ask for it. But this is something you'll learn into more details next week about the coaching posture, because that's definitely one of the things about the coaching posture. But active listening is that you basically are helping them, clarifying their thought, clarifying what they're saying. So to give you an example, someone is telling me, well, this person, she frustrates me. She's always trying to be right, but me, I want to express myself, and I can never talk. I can never say what I'm thinking. So for me, active listening would be, for instance, to rephrase that sentence and be like, okay, so what I'm understanding is that this person is not respecting your boundaries, right? And you feel as though, yes, that's exactly that. You feel as though you're not heard, or you're not able to express yourself, right? Yes, that's exactly that. So active listening is really a big skill, because what you learn to do is to summarize what the person says to you, rephrase it, and always be open to the fact that maybe your phrasing is false and that you used the wrong word, or that maybe you didn't understand. So you also welcome that, maybe you've understood wrong, but ultimately it's really about the other person, to help them clarifying, to help them rephrase, and to really completely, once again, I will say that, and it's important to repeat it, silence your judgment. Oh, but you should do this. Oh, but why you didn't say that and that and that. You got to always remember that people do the best with what they have. So for you to also open a door of, how can I say, when you remove the judgment, you allow people to express themselves and be more vulnerable. When you put judgment, on the other hand, you put them in a sort of defense mechanism, and you're not really allowing them to be in contact with the resources and resourcefulness. So for instance, if someone was not able to provide a very good reply, not only a physical reply, but like an emotional reply, they just got angry or whatever, instead of making them feel worse, oh, but why did you do that, okay, so that's not a problem. You could always, go back to that person. Just using this example because I think it's a good example, and tell them, listen, I'm sorry, in that moment I was not emotionally able to handle this conversation, but now I'm gonna have more time and I can handle it in a better time. But ultimately, it's really allowing the person to be in contact and connected to their truth, to be connected to their own resources. And in order for them to be able to do that, and for you to help them do that, being an active listener is really important. It's really the key. And you will see that also, doing this with other people are gonna literally transform your relationship with people, because suddenly you're gonna be seen as someone that people can trust, because they can openly talk to you, and you'd be surprised, the level of trust there is in just being able to be vulnerable in front of someone without being judged, without being and once again, I keep on saying this word judge, but it is because it's so important. How many of us have felt completely 100% welcome in who we are as a person? How many of us can share the darkest secret about ourselves? I'm not talking about, like, I've done this horrible thing, so I don't know. But I'm not talking, I don't know, let me give you an example of something like that would be considered terrible to share with a friend. Let's imagine I have a friend, and she just had, like, I don't know, her third child, and I'm one of her best friend, and I don't have children, and she seems to have this perfect life, and I'm feeling jealous about it, and I don't have nobody to talk. That would be like an awful thing to say. I use this example often because jealousy in our society is considered like an evil feeling to have, especially for, towards your best friend or something like that. But it's interesting because jealousy is only it's obviously a byproduct of anger, but it also comes from the idea that you can't have that one thing that you envious of. And imagine you coming to a friend and share that. I think that out of all the thing that someone could share, this would be probably the last thing anyone would dare to share with a friend. Like, it would be too shameful to go and share to one of your friends, listen, I'm actually jealous of one of my best friends who's got this and this and this and that. You'll have to pay a therapist for that, but because you don't want to be judged. That's it. And so judgment is really a big part of why people, it's not so easy to speak and to be true to yourself and true to other people. So the more you develop that skill, the more you can be in touch with your the part of you that you don't like so much. And don't forget, this model is really about being in touch with your shadow, which are the parts of you that you don't feel comfortable, and that is very important, because if you want to be able to take an experience, no matter how painful it is, and to transforming it into a life lesson, you got to be able to be cool about the fact that there are some places, there are some aspect of you that you're not gonna like it. That's it. You're not gonna like, but you have to be able to own it. You have to be able to embrace it. And in order to do that, active listening is really a key. First, as I said, practice it on other people. It's much easier. And as time passes, you're going to learn, to do it on yourself. And anyway, we're going to keep on doing some exercise. I'm not going to stop there. I'm just giving you at the moment the basic of what this model is about. But then we're going to go into more details because there's so much to say. Ultimately, as I said, and I will repeat it again and again, what this model does is that it gives you a structure to follow. That structure, you may function over there. The model creates a structure and says, okay, this is where you have to operate. So when you're not, let's say you have a friend coming, something. The model is telling you, okay, this is where you're supposed to operate. You're going to know straight away when you're not active listening. That's it. You're going to know straight away because you're going to start to hear. And maybe at the beginning, that's exactly what's going to happen. Welcome it. It's okay. The fact of you being aware is really the key, number one. Being aware of what's happening inside of you. Being aware of what are you doing or what you're not doing. So all of this is part of the process of learning the skills, Obviously, life could be much easier if we were taught those skills much earlier in life, right? And also if we were not just taught, but if everybody was practicing active listening, the whole world would be a different place without a doubt, right? So for the moment, to start with, just practice on other people, right? They're talking to you, you listen. You listen. When you start to hear your own voice, but they should do, oh no, I know exactly what they should do, no. Silence, listen. Focus in their eyes, focus on their body language, focus on their breath. Just be there with them, okay? And what you can do is help them summarize what they're saying, because sometimes someone can talk a lot. Summarize what they're saying and rephrase what they're saying and ask them to validate if you've understood right. Trust me, you are going to start to be the best friend of everybody. Okay guys, so next week we are going to talk about the last posture that you need in order to use the Osfour Self Coaching Model, which is the coach posture. This is the final posture that you need. In a way, it is carried, all of those 4 first postures are part of the coach postures, and in a way this coach posture is it's what carries everything, right? Because the coach posture is ultimately someone who can be benevolent, empathy, who has compassion and active listening. So all of it. So it's the last posture, but at the same time it is the one that carries all of those postures at the same time. Okay guys, so I hope this video was helpful, and until next week, all I'm gonna say to you is peace, love and light. Bye bye.